Good day, grade 12s. My name is Carden Madzokere, and I'm the author and publisher of the Distinction Bound Student Textbooks. I would like to welcome you to one of my videos where I'm doing a summary of circular flow. So in this particular video, we're going to focus on question 1.4, which is a follow-up to 1.3. Now, all of it is on a playlist, so I suggest you watch it in sequence. Start with the first video in the playlist. Now, this is data response, so let us study the data provided and then we respond. Study the table below and answer the questions that follow. Now, let's see. What we see here is gross value added by, so already, if we see GVA, we should instantly start thinking about the production method, because it's the one that we normally call the value added method. Now, to say GVA is more or less the same as saying GDP, but it's more of saying the production method, because that's the one that uses the value added method. Now, we do it to avoid double counting. Okay. I'm not going to go in depth with that. Let's continue to study. So it says 2021 figures. So, okay, here, this was released in March 2021. Then I see here at constant. Now, constant meaning holding prices constant to a base year. So the year is 2021. So current prices means current 2021 prices. But these prices are held constant at 2015, So basically we do this to calculate real GDP to see if the economy is actually growing, because if we use current prices, it gives us the wrong impression. It tells us that the economy grew. In some cases, it actually went down, but it's because of inflation that it seems as if it grew. So for us to know the actual truth, we hold prices constant at a year that the Reserve Bank will choose. We call that the base year. Okay, so we see another thing we can talk about is the contribution, which looks good, because it says something about how developed we are as a country, because poor countries or developing countries mostly would have a huge chunk of their contribution to GDP coming from the primary sector. But if we look here, our tertiary sector is the biggest. Even if we combine our primary and secondary, it doesn't equate to our tertiary sector. So thumbs up essay. Now let's have a look. 1.4.1. Identify the base year in this that South African Reserve Bank uses to compile national account aggregates. Well, we got it already. That'll be 2015. Then give the alternative term used for gross value added in national accounts. That will be gross domestic product. Okay. And I think I've mentioned already that we use the value added method to avoid double counting in case the question comes. Then number 3, briefly describe the term gross value added. Now, what we need to say on this one is that it's the value that is added on the goods at every stage of the production process. So what it means is when the primary sector produces, say, wheat, we then use the wheat, we then sell the wheat to the secondary sector, which then grinds the wheat. In essence, they are adding a value to the wheat, because wheat has less utility than flour to human beings. We are not birds that can eat wheat. We need that wheat to be further processed so that we can consume it. So what the secondary sector does is they add value to the wheat and we buy it as flour. Then what then the tertiary sector does, also on the secondary sector, some businesses like Albany, they will buy the flour. If they are not the ones producing the flour themselves, they will buy the flour from companies that manufacture flour, and then they are going to bake bread. Then companies like ShopRite would then sell us the bread. So we then go and buy the bread. So in the process, we see that wheat, primary sector, then secondary sector adds value to the wheat and makes it flour, and further processes the flour into bread. That's secondary sector. Then it's then sold to us in the tertiary sector. Some businesses in the tertiary sector will just do packaging, put it together nicely, and then sell it to us. So basically, we see that something has more value as bread than it is as wheat. So the whole process adds value. So we simply take the value that was added in each stage in the production process, and so we call it the value added method. And we said we use it to avoid double counting. Then the next question, how do we convert basic prices to market prices? Okay, so here we have basic prices. If we had to then calculate market prices, what we need to do is we need to add taxes on products. So things like value added tax, things like sin tax, and so on. Then we subtract any subsidies on products. So we then get market prices. So what we'll write here is GDP at basic prices plus taxes on products minus subsidies on products equal to GDP at market prices. The last question, why would economists prefer constant prices to current prices? Now, constant prices are, the ones held to a base year. They are the ones that should be used if we want to compare one year with the other, because they sort of take into consideration the effect of inflation. So they exclude that effect so that it gives us the correct or the actual happening, because current prices will give us the wrong impression. So basically that's what you need to say. Okay, so now I'm going to project my answers. There we have it. 2015 was the base year. And then gross domestic product is the other term for GVA. And then, the value that is added, yes, that's what we said. Then how are basic prices converted? Yes, we said we add taxes on products. There we have it. Then we subtract subsidies on products, and then we get market prices. It's as simple as that. Then the last one, why would economists prefer? Yes, that's what we said. Constant prices are adjusted to exclude the effect of inflation, whereas current prices are not adjusted. So constant prices provide a true reflection. This is key. I kept saying current prices give us the wrong impression, which is true. And here they are using the word distorted indication. So they give us a wrong impression, like it's not really what happened. It looks like there's growth, but it's actually caused by inflation. But if you look at the number, if we were to say loaves of bread, you may find out that the previous year produced more loaves of bread than the current year. But then because the price of bread changed over the years, then it gives you a distorted indication. Well, this brings us to the end of our lesson. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, share, and till the next video, God bless.